Leicester City were back in the Premier League after just one season away and returned with a brand new ground, the Walkers Stadium. But by mid-September, they had only 2 Premier League points to their credit, something they hope to redress with the visit of Leeds United. 30,000 fans, still full of hope, packed into the ground. Leicester had 3 players, Alan Rodger, Ricardo Schumacher and Les Ferdinand, suspended, while Keith Gillespie and Matt Elliott were injured. Despite some high-profile departures from Leeds in the summer, Peter Reid still had plenty of talent available to him. Dominic Matteo and Ian Hart were injured, so World Cup winner Roque Jr. made his Premier League debut. The hugely talented Jermaine Pennant was on loan from Arsenal. Mickey Adams and Peter Reid were good friends off the pitch. How would their teams fare on it? Your match commentator is Alan Parry.
Leicester City in the blue shirts and white shorts. Leeds United all in white. And it's Thatcher with the first ball forward, aimed at Scowcroft. Thatcher, a player who's had dreadful luck with injuries in his career. £5 million signing from Tottenham Hotspur. Harry Kelly, Leeds' longest-serving player, and then the header away by Jerry Taggart. Smith bowled over, and both officials convinced that that challenge by Taggart worthy of a free kick. He's had a serious knee problem for a long time now, the big Northern Ireland international. Here's Smith with the layoff. Nallis read it correctly. Not the best ball, one back by Sacco, who's made a very good start to his Leeds career and goes through again dangerously here. Lovely little back heeler by Viduka to set him up. And Walker had to be on his toes in the opening minute here as Sacco and Viduka combined impressively. And at the other end, an early threat which Domi clears. Now Bent. And here's one of Leicester's best known players, of course, Muzzy is it? The captain's armband tonight. Marcus Bent back on the ball again and gets round Didier Domi very impressively. Good ball in, and that could have been a goal inside 1.5 minutes for Scowcroft. Good reaction by Robinson. Wonderful play by Marcus Bent here. Left Didier Domi for dead, and the cross could not have been better. And in all fairness, well, it would be hard to improve on the header as well. Now, a threat perhaps as Dickoff almost kicked out Hignett. Domi takes the fight deep into Leicester's half. Not a bad ball either for Smith, who did well to win it back. And even better to get a shot in from that range. Excellent effort by Alan Smith, whose next goal will be his 50th in Leeds United's colours. And he was almost celebrating it here. That really was excellent play by the England international, who's still only 22. And Peter Reid says this is a big season for him. Wants to see him fulfill his undoubted potential. Scored against Newcastle and Tottenham already. Got 9 goals last season. He'd be looking for more than that, I'm sure, this term. He's not a particularly prolific scorer, but he's a very, very dangerous player. He's gone out for a corner. Clever play by Paul Dickoff, who scored against the Faroe Islands in midweek last week. His first goal for his country, Scotland. Northern Ireland man Taggart lumbers his way forward. Is it trying to organise things from afar? And Scowcroft and then Taggart both had an opportunity. Poor defending really here by Leeds. They had a couple of opportunities to get that away. When you look at it from behind the goal, it's an excellent save by Robinson. And very nearly a goal again as Thatcher, of all people, came storming in. I say of all people because it's pretty well known in football that this is a guy who does not trouble the scorers in cricketing parlance. He's only ever scored once in over 250 matches in his career, and that was 8 years ago for his first club, Millwall. So that would have been one for the record books if it had gone in. And they can't believe it. I bet they can't believe it was Thatcher who had the effort. Leeds living dangerously. Pick up against Camara. And the Leeds player surely hauling him back, he was. Will we never get anything less than 100% effort from Paul Dickoff? He might not be the most technically gifted of strikers, but defenders hate playing against him. Izzard's free kick is useful, and almost another goal. Well, I say another, they haven't scored one yet, of course, but by now there could have been 2 or 3 ahead. Scowcroft this time. That's about 3 really good headed opportunities, and then we had a goalmouth scramble a couple of minutes ago, and on any one of those occasions, Leicester could have found themselves ahead here. That's a poor ball by Hignett. Smith. Morris has given it away. That was sloppy, really, by the former Chelsea man. Is it also a former Chelsea player with a much better ball to Marcus Bent? And he's picked out Hignett. Who picked out no one in particular. And what a great effort! Oh, what a magnificent goal by Nallis! That is very special. Lilian Nallis, the Frenchman, scores his first goal in the Premier League, and what a goal! He'll never hit the ball more perfectly in the rest of his career. A magnificent strike, high into the top corner, the sweetest left footballer you'll ever see, and Robinson comprehensively beaten. Wonderful technique by the Frenchman. What a goal! He'd already scored an own goal in the defeat at Chelsea. Now he proves he can do it properly at the other end as well. A stunning strike by Nallis. And really, you have to say Leicester City deserved to be in front. 4 decent opportunities before that wonderful strike by Nallis. Kelly, there's just nothing you can do about that as the defending team. Paducah, good challenge by Sinclair. And Nallis goes in and gives away a free kick this time for the challenge on Jody Morris. As Gary Kelly lines up a long-range free kick. Optimistically, you might think, because he hasn't scored a Premier League goal for over 6 years now. And I'm bound to say, if you'll forgive me, you can see why. A pretty poor effort, which the manager will not have enjoyed. Midway through this Barclaycard English Premier League match, and Leicester have got another goal! Paul Dickoff! What a transformation! They can't believe it, these home fans. A straightforward ball down the middle of Leeds' defence, and Leicester increased their lead to 2-0. That really was route 1. 2 flicked on headers, but what a turn. I said before that maybe Dickoff's not the most technically gifted of players. Well, you've got to say 10 out of 10 for his technique here. Took it beautifully on the chest, and the little volley found the corner of the net, and Leicester City have got 2 goals in, what, about 3 minutes, and Leeds are rocking and all over the place here. Robinson, who's not otherwise had a save to make, but he did have one early on, didn't he? Has picked the ball out of his net twice. Walker at the other end was never going to be troubled by that effort from Seth Johnson. It's all gone horribly long for Leeds United so far tonight. And he will summon up the words to express his disappointment, you can be sure of that. Leicester City edging their way towards half-time with their 2-goal lead intact. Johnson in strongly. The Duca's layoff, poor. And the clearance by Taggart finds, well, found no one. But he found the net in spectacular fashion to set Leicester City on their way here and bring the entire stadium to life. Dickoff followed it up with a beautifully taken goal himself, and Leicester City have dominated the first half here at the Walker Stadium and thoroughly deserved to go off to a standing ovation. Leeds United, they've got to sort things out and sort them out quickly. The half-time score, Leicester 2, Leeds 0. No changes of personnel made by either manager during the half-time interval, though you can be sure that Leeds United, who kick off here, all in white, will have had a few words of well-chosen advice from their manager, as Pennant immediately gets an impressive cross in, but Walker has been on his game tonight. He's come and caught everything, set pieces, crosses like this. He's in the mood where he's going to take some beating, I think. Pennant, disappointed in that first half, but he's started pretty brightly here. It wasn't his fault that the Duca was offside in the middle. And Peter Reid, who's had to rebuild the Ellen Road squad with a mixture of free transfers and loans, wasn't expecting it all to be plain sailing, but he certainly wouldn't have expected Mickey Adams' team to give him as many problems tonight as they have given him. Scowcroft, one of the many pluses for Leicester. Sacco. Clearance was by Maziezi. Johnson. It's a better ball, and Viduka at the second opportunity pulls it back, and Sacco with a missed kick as Thatcher made the challenge. And a difficult bounce deceiving Craig Hignett. This was gone again for a free kick to Leicester. Foul, I think, by Lamine Sacco. Thatcher a little embarrassed at the sliced miscue. Gary Kelly's clearance. As he is it, deceived by the bounce. And then bent with the shot, and that wasn't too far wide. He's looked lively as well. Adams will be very pleased that he's getting the very best out of his players here tonight. He's been around, Marcus Bent. He's only in his mid-20s, but he's already had 7 different clubs, and scored goals for all of them. He's quick and strong. Dickoff threatens again here, and that surely, well, the referee has waved it away, but that looked very close to being a penalty to me, as Roque Jr. clearly pushed Paul Dickoff. Taggart clears at the other end. And again, they've been outpaced here. Oh, that's great work by the goalkeeper, Robinson. They're all over the place still, Leeds. I don't think we'd even offer him a penny for his thoughts. Leicester Leicester City do have a wonderful record here at the Walker Stadium, just 2 defeats in the 25 league games they've played here. Burnley beat them 1-0 last October in a nationwide game, and then Ipswich 2-1 on Boxing Day, as Bent threatens to increase Leicester's lead again. Been a lot of movement about Leicester City tonight, and a lot of very impressive aspects to their game. Roque Jr. did well this time to win it back. Now Morris. Kelly. Viduka using his strength to good effect this time, but played it in behind Joni Morris. Great turn though, and a lovely ball for Smith. The best moment of the game from Leeds United's point of view. 1 or 2 lovely little sharp passes here, and when it looked as though Morris had lost it, he suddenly regained the initiative. Pennant. Well, that's a corner, which will come as some relief to the travelling Leeds United fans who've had very little to enthuse over so far tonight. Camara, who scored against Middlesbrough in the 3-2 win, making his way forward. And the header was by Roque Jr. Well, I've rarely seen Viduka as quiet and ineffective as he has been tonight, but this man is a natural goal scorer. He's averaged 1 every 2 games since he came into the Premier League, so even when he's having an off night, never discount him. Nallis on to Scowcroft, but the whistle had already gone for a Leicester free kick. Good clearance for Kelly, and a chance again. Oh, it's a fine save. Well, Robinson has made 2 wonderful stops tonight, and the 2 goals that beat him he could do nothing about. And Leeds, it seems, have been able to do nothing about Scowcroft all night, because whenever there's been a ball to be won in the air, he has won it. Terrific support for the home side here. Smacks against the crossbar this time. Well, I don't believe what we've been seeing tonight, because Thatcher, remember, the man who hasn't scored a goal for 8 years and has only ever scored 1 in his entire career, has headed one just over and now has got even lower and smacked the crossbar with another effort. If he gets a 3rd chance, he might finally get that. Long waited for a goal. Scowcroft has had an excellent game. Ignat gets it back from Curtis, and again Scowcroft is there to win the header. This time he had a new partner to pick out in Dean. No wonder he was calling for the ball. As I mentioned before, I think he's won every single header he's challenged for. Dean. Stewart. And on to Izzet. Dickoff. Well, the defender slipped, and that just gave him the glimmer of an opening, and how well he accepted it. Paul Dickoff gets his 2nd goal of the night. Leicester City get their 3rd. Signed, sealed and delivered. Their first victory back in the Premier League is now assured. And Leeds' nightmarish evening just continues. That slip My camera just gave Dickoff the opportunity to get a yard on him, and as he proved with his excellent finish in the first half, that's all he needed. What a good night for the Scot, what a bad night for the Yorkshireman. And Mickey Adams, a Yorkshireman himself, from Sheffield, celebrates the downfall of Leeds United, and thoroughly deserved that scoreline. Well, I was saying earlier that they needed a big score to climb those potential 8 places up the table. They started at -3. Of course, they're now level in terms of goal difference, so they're on their way. They will certainly climb a few places, and they certainly deserve to on this performance. And Dickoff again pursuing every loose ball, worrying every defender when in possession. And Paul Dickoff, whose career began, of course, with Arsenal, though he never really established himself as a regular there, has had a very, very good week. First goal for Scotland, 2 for Leicester. Young Lennon threatening at the other end. Well, that was a spectacular effort by a man who's looked out of sorts tonight, Viduka, but into the side netting. Quite possibly offside, I would have thought, the Australian. It's not going to be their night. It's not going to be his night. And they've conceded another corner. Well, another goal now, with the icing on the cake. Also, maybe helped to nudge them another place up the table. Leicester could be very valuable over the course of the season, so they'll keep looking for it. They've got a free kick. Into the final minute at the Walker Stadium, resounding to the noise of happy Leicester City fans. The disgruntled Leeds fans already making their way home. And there's another goal! And if ever a man out there deserved it, it's Scowcroft. He's not missed a header all night. He wasn't going to miss that one. 4-0 to Leicester. Leeds United have not been able to cope with him from first minute, quite literally to last. And he'll be bubbling. The man in the background, well, quite frankly, he'll be boiling, never mind bubbling, because Leeds have been awful. There's Pennant. And a late and fairly irrelevant corner, won by Leeds. And defended successfully by Leicester. Leicester City are off and running, and how? Their first Premier League victory back amongst the big boys, and it was mighty impressive. They've recorded 3 points, they've shot up the table, and they've proved that Leeds United could be in for a long, hard season. Scowcroft with that excellent 4th goal, having tormented Leeds in the air all night. Fantastic effort early on from Nallis. 2 beauties from the little Scot, Paul Dickoff, and the Leicester fans will go home very happy, having seen their team win this match by 4-0.
Leicester bouncing back in some style, a result which gave them real hope. But unfortunately for their vociferous fans in their bright new stadium, this was one of the few high points in a season which saw them relegated once again from the Premier League. It was worse for Leeds, who finished a place below Leicester. Peter Reid didn't even see the year out as manager as the club went into financial meltdown.